Gray Hulk, aka Joe Fixit. The original Hulk wasn't green, he was gray. That was Stan Lee and Jack Kirby's original vision, but thanks to 1960s printing limitations, gray was inconsistent, so they switched him to green. But the Gray Hulk wasn't gone for good. By 1986, he made a comeback, not just as a throwback, but as a new persona altogether. Enter Joe Fixit, the Las Vegas enforcer version of the Hulk. Unlike the mindless rage monster or the noble savage, Grey Hulk was a cunning, hedonistic, and arrogant version of Banner's psyche. Basically, the moody teenager Banner never got to be. While he wasn't the strongest Hulk, he made up for it with brains and street smarts. This Hulk preferred tailored suits over tattered pants and worked security jobs in Vegas. I guess not all Hulks have to go on destructive rampages. Some just want to run a casino and make money. Joe Fixit originally had a night-based transformation, strongest during a new moon and weakest during a full moon, making him the werewolf of Hulks. But eventually that restriction was removed and he had figured out how to manifest in Bruce Banner's body, calling himself Sunshine Joe. Yes, he named himself. His journey got even wilder when he absorbed cosmic energy, unexpectedly transforming into a new Red Hulk. He even smashed through the red door, a metaphysical barrier between life and death, showing that no matter what color he is, Hulk always finds a way to break things. Green Hulk. While Hulk first appeared in gray, it only took until issue number 2 of his first solo series for the creators to settle on his now iconic green. Why? Printing inconsistencies. But they ran with it, and from that point on, gamma radiation became the in-universe explanation for Hulk's signature green glow. Of all the other Hulk colors, green is by far the most common. And we know how this story goes. Bruce Banner's repressed rage fuels the classic Hulk transformation, turning him into a smashing machine. But he's not only the green-skinned powerhouse. His cousin Jennifer Walters carries the green torch as She-Hulk, and even his enemies, like the Leader and Abomination, end up with radioactive emerald complexions thanks to gamma experiments. Even within Hulk's own transformations, his shade of green fluctuates, often signifying a different persona or state of mind. The Savage Hulk is the classic childlike, fuel-raged brute, the one most people recognize. The Professor Hulk, also called Merged Hulk, is a mix of Bruce's intelligence, Joe Fixit's cunning, and Savage Hulk's strength, making him one of the most balanced Hulks. Then there's the Worldbreaker Hulk, a planet-shattering force who's emerged from Hulk's anger and suffering during World War Hulk, radiating pure destructive power. Lastly, the Immortal Hulk taps into eldritch horror vibes, emphasizing Hulk's connection to death and resurrection, with his eerie green glow symbolizing his monstrous supernatural side. Whether brutish, cunning, controlled, or apocalyptic, green remains the dominant color of Hulk's psyche, with each shade representing a different side of Bruce Banner's fractured psyche. Red Hulk. They always say fight fire with fire, and Thaddeus Ross took that very literally. Frustrated with his lifelong pursuit of the Hulk, Ross decided the best way to stop a gamma monster was to become one himself. And thus, the Red Hulk was born, a government-sanctioned powerhouse with raging strength and a temper hot enough to melt sand into glass. Unlike Bruce Banner's rage-triggered transformations, Red Hulk had the ability to consciously shift between his human and Hulk form, giving him full control over his monstrous abilities. His transformation wasn't just for show either. Red Hulk absorbed radiation, generated extreme heat, and was smart enough to strategize his attacks rather than just smashing blindly. That didn't make him a hero, though. If anything, Ross was more dangerous than ever, driven by revenge, grief, and a twisted sense of duty. Ross's hatred for the Hulk reached new heights after his daughter Betty was killed by Abomination and the Hulk was exiled from Earth. With no Hulk left to fight, Ross spiraled into depression and alcoholism until MODOK and the Leader made him an offer he couldn't refuse. Become a Hulk, bring down Banner, and maybe, just maybe, get his daughter back. That's how the Red Hulk was born in secrecy, with Ross working alongside a group called the Intelligentsia, while a life model decoy took his place in the public eye. Once unleashed, the Red Hulk wasted no time making a name for himself. He killed the Wendigo, murdered Abomination for revenge, and even brought down the helicarrier, deleting every single file on the Hulk to cover his tracks. But he didn't stop there. He went toe-to-toe with A-Bomb, fought off a swarm of Harpy robots, and even knocked Uatu the Watcher into next week. Because why not punch a cosmic being who only came to watch? But Hulk's most legendary feat was taking on Thor. And not just fighting him, beating him. The battle took them all the way to the moon, where Red Hulk left Thor knocked out like yesterday's leftovers before jumping back to Earth in one massive leap. He landed so hard it caused an earthquake at San Francisco, which promptly invited every superhero team to check things out. This time, Thor got his payback, flattening Hulk with a few divine smacks. But the real finishing blow? Hulk himself. After an intense fight, Red Hulk overheated, got dizzy, and lost his advantage, giving Hulk the perfect chance to beat him into the dirt. Purple Hulk. Norman Osborn has always been a dangerous man, but what happens when you give him the power of the Hulk? Thanks to AIM's Super Adaptoid program, Osborne was given the terrifying ability to absorb the powers of anyone he touched. That meant that after a single hit from Red Hulk, Osborne transformed into something completely new, the Purple Hulk. Now, the color itself doesn't seem to have a deeper meaning, but it does create a striking visual. The Green Goblin twisted into a massive muscle-bound monster. But this wasn't just another mindless Hulk. Osborne retained his brilliant intellect, his ruthless cunning, and his ability to manipulate those around him. Imagine a Hulk who not only smashes, but strategizes. That's what made Purple Hulk such a terrifying possibility. He could have been an unstoppable force, with the brains to back up the brawn. Unfortunately, or fortunately for the rest of the Marvel Universe, Osborn's power absorption had one major flaw. He could only handle so much. His growing arsenal of stolen abilities became too much to control, and he was ultimately overloaded, forcing him back to normal. It was a short-lived transformation, but one that proved just how dangerous Norman Osborn could be with the right power set. Purple Hulk didn't stick around, but the idea of a genius-level Hulk with villainous ambitions, that's the kind of nightmare fuel that reminds everyone why Norman Osborn is one of the greatest threats in Marvel history. Blue Hulk. The Hulk's already a force of nature, but what happens when you give him the power of the entire universe? Enter Captain Universe Hulk, a version of the Jade Giant that glows blue, warps time, and wields near omnipotence cosmic energy. The Unipower, a sentient cosmic force that chooses hosts at moments of great need, made the questionable decision to bond with Bruce Banner. The result? The most ridiculously overpowered Hulk in existence. With cosmic awareness, flight, and reality warping abilities, Captain Universe Hulk had the potential to be unstoppable. Thankfully, Hulk's priorities remained refreshingly simple. Smashing things first, asking questions never. Despite the terrifying implications of this fusion, Captain Universe Hulk didn't stick around for long. Whether it was because of the Unipower realizing that giving unlimited cosmic might to a creature whose favorite hobby is destruction wasn't its best idea, or simply because the narrative couldn't handle a Hulk this strong, the Unipower moved on, eventually bonding with Daredevil instead. So while this blue glowing cosmic Hulk could have rewritten the very fabric of existence, he mostly stuck to what he knew best, breaking stuff. Brawn Hulk, aka Devil Hulk. Most Hulks are monsters of anger, but Devil Hulk? He's something much worse. Born from Bruce Banner's traumatic childhood, Devil Hulk isn't just a rage-fueled behemoth. He's the dark voice inside Bruce's head, whispering sweet promises of vengeance and destruction. Unlike the Savage Hulk, who just wants to be left alone, Devil Hulk wants to burn the world down. He's intelligent, calculating, and dangerously protective of Bruce with the philosophy that if the world has hurt him, then it deserves to suffer. With his brown scaly skin and reptilian features, he looks every bit like the monster Bruce's father made him believe he was. Devil Hulk's power is off the charts. He's not just stronger than the previous Hulk, he's outright terrifying. He fractured Thor's skull, punched She-Hulk across 2 miles, tore through Iron Man's Hulkbuster armor, and overloaded Black Panther's vibranium suit, something no one thought was possible. On top of that, his healing factor is so absurd that he can reassemble his body even after being chopped into pieces. But what makes Devil Hulk truly terrifying is his patience. Unlike other Hulks, he doesn't force his way out. He waits. He lurks in Banner's subconscious, only emerging when Bruce is fatally injured and when the sun goes down. Even Banner himself admitted that Devil Hulk was smarter than him, making this version of the Hulk less of a brute and more of a ticking time bomb. Sadly, even the Devil Hulk wasn't immune to betrayal. During the Immortal Hulk, he was locked away by another Hulk persona and later eaten by the villainous leader. Black Hulk, aka Kluh. The Hulk is already a walking disaster, but what happens when even he isn't angry enough? Enter Kluh, the Hulk's Hulk. Yeah, you heard that right. If the Hulk is a rage personification, then Kluh is what happens when that rage festers, grows bitter, and decides it's done holding back. This black-skinned, red-glowing monster emerged during Avengers and X-Men Axis, when a magical inversion flipped the personalities of heroes and villains. While most of the Avengers were busy having moral crises, the Hulk took a back seat and something darker took over. Kluh. Unlike Banner's usual transformations, this wasn't about suppressing anger. This was years of Hulk's own suffering, frustration, and resentment coming to the surface in the form that was bigger, meaner, and terrifyingly calm. And make no mistake, Kluh isn't just another Hulk rampage. He's smart, he's cruel, and he loves destruction. He speaks clearly, mocks his enemies, and even tried to take a bite out of Nova like he was a snack. This is a Hulk who doesn't just smash, he plans, he taunts, and he enjoys making his enemies suffer. Power-wise, he's on another level. He took out the Avengers with ease and punched Nova so hard, the kid crash-landed in Paris, having the best romance in his life. That's the rearrange the map kind of strength. Thankfully, Kluh didn't last forever. When Scarlet Witch undid the spell, he faded away, leaving Hulk back in control. But if there's one thing the Hulk's history's taught us, it's that his worst alter egos have a habit of coming back when you least expect them. And if Kluh returns, well, let's just say the Avengers better start working on a backup planet. Skin Tone Hulk. Unlike most gamma-mutated beings, Leonard Samson, better known as Doc Samson, managed to keep his intellect intact and, more impressively, got himself a full head of green flowing hair. While the Hulk struggles with rage issues and shredded pants, Samson somehow landed superpowers in a built-in shampoo commercial. Samson gained his abilities after attempting to cure Bruce Banner and save Betty Ross using a cathexis ray that drained gamma and psionic energy from Banner. The experiment worked until Samson, out of scientific curiosity and maybe a little bit of ego, decided to zap himself with the leftover energy. This turned him into a superhuman powerhouse with enhanced strength and resilience. Though, unlike the Hulk, his power didn't scale infinitely with rage, meaning his fights with Banner always had an expiration date. As a psychiatrist, Samson often tried to help others dealing with gamma mutations, but that didn't stop him from occasionally throwing punches with the Hulk. He even served as a Hulkbuster of sorts, believing he could finally fix Banner. Spoiler, he couldn't. At one point, he lost his powers after taking a gamma blast meant for the Hulk, only to regain them later after being hit with another explosion. Because in comics, if you fall into a vat of chemicals once, you better believe you'll do it again. Samson's role in the Marvel Universe has shifted between hero, rival, and scientist who really should stop experimenting on himself. And that's a wrap on every major Hulk color. From the classic green to the raging red and everything in between, each Hulk brings something unique to the table, usually destruction. Which Hulk's your favorite? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe for more. See you in the next one.